I'm Shafiq, your moderator for today's forum session. For today, we will briefly discuss about an environment where climate action is being endorsed among variety of people, such as egoistic, hedonic, altruistic, and biospheric values of people. So, I want to ask all of you guys, have you ever heard about all of these values of people? If not, then you are in the right place. For your information, values are enduring beliefs and principles that remain relatively constant across different situations and contexts. They serve as benchmark or criteria against which actions, technologies, policies, and decisions are assessed or evaluated. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, our topic for today is just a light one, which fall in under SDG 13 about climate action, engaging the concrete jungle residents in climate action. I believe that all of us concerned about climate action, right? So today, I bring to all of you not one, not two, but four professional panelists to share their ideas and talks about this topic. They will join forces and amplify ideas together because two heads are better than one. So ladies and gentlemen, I welcome our first panelist, Mr. Ilham, as the founder of Tesla. How are you, sir?
Thank you so much, Mr. Moderator. Hello, everyone. My name is Ilham, the founder of Tesla. Now, today I want to us to explore the fascinating interplay between egoistic value and the climate action movement. While it may seem paradoxical, they are intriguing ways to align personal gain with environmental sustainability responsibility. Now, without further ado, let's delve into this discussion. Now, before that, I want to make sure each of everyone that is present here will know what is the definition of egoistic value. Now, based on the article by Gis Bowman and Linda Stack, um, egoistic value mean being centered or preoccupied with oneself and the gratification of one's own desire, which mean the person is very self-centered, and in easier word, they can be called as selfish. Now, in my humble opinion, egoistic value people, if being approached right, will be able to lead to a positive outcome in a climate action movement. Now, now let's say number one reason being is because egoistic value may drive individual to invest in an exclusive eco-friendly gadgets like limited edition solar power device, emphasizing that their commitment to the climate action is much more than everybody else. This they will be able to show that they have environmental responsibility, and this is a method for them to stand out much more, which mean that number one, by using exclusive eco-friendly gadgets, egoistic value people will be able to find a way to show that uh, will be find a way to show their egoistic value while also contributing to environmental responsibility. One of the easy example that I can give you is Tesla electric car. You can see nowadays there are much more people who are using these electric cars, and that reason being is because number one, it's a cool car, and number two, it's because this car uh, this car contribute a lot in climate action. Now, in the Tesla website itself, it is say that Tesla electric cars are the most environmental friendly cars on the market today. Electric cars can reduce carbon footprint of individual and businesses that use them. Tesla cars offer more than just electric cars. They also have renewable energy solutions like solar panel, power wall, and power pack. Now, and this is all explained under Master Plan 3. Now, number two reason being why egoistic value will stand out more in the climate action movement is because high-end sustainable fashion. Now, egoistic individual may embrace sustainable fashion much more than anybody else because most of this fashion come from high-end brands, not only for its eco-friendly aspect, but also to highlight their refined taste and distinguish themselves from people in the community. Now, one of a great example is Uniqlo. Uniqlo is known for a lot of us as a very high-end brand. They are not as expensive as other, but they are also not as cheap either. Uniqlo invests in Uniqlo invests in energy efficient technology to reduce its carbon footprint. It has implemented energy measure in its store and warehouse and has also switched to renewable energy source. One of the things that we can see in Uniqlo website is that they have always show us to buy Uniqlo tote bag. This goes aligned with Uniqlo's sustainability report, which you can look up, which say that they have reduced environmental impact by reducing the use of plastic product. They now offer shopping bags that are more eco-friendly. And of course, this all is aligned with egoistic value people because they want to show their contribution better than anybody else. So by wearing Uniqlo products, they indirectly show everyone that, right now I am contributing to climate action. Now, number three is because as number three, egoistic value people can show contribution by being exclusive eco-friendly membership. Now, we all know egoistic individual will seek out exclusive membership. For example, eco-friendly clubs or gym or communities. For an example, eco-friendly gym, this sustainable gym may use more energy efficient lighting or monitor the air conditioning more consciously or use natural cleaning supplies or just in any sort of way possible to show to contribute to eco-friendliness. And of course, because these are egoistic value people, this gym and special community is not just only for environmental benefit, but for them, it is a way for them to be in a selected group, reinforcing their sense of exclusivity and superiority compared to others. Now, to conclude, even though egoistic value is very self-centered and at the end of the day, all their thing are about themselves, I personally believe that if we approach them right, they will be a massive contributor to climate action.
Mr. Ilham, can I ask you a question? Only
Yeah,
one
go on.
question. Well, about egoistic value, in your opinion, what factors that will contribute to the development of egoistic values in individual?
Well, like I said, while egoistic value may generally prioritize individual interests over collective well-being, unlike some other value that we will talk later in this series, individual motivated by such value can still contribute so much to a climate action society. Egoistic individual may engage in energy. For example, um, egoistic value people may engage in an energy efficient practice or to adopt sustainable behavior if they perceive this action can give them, for example, potential cost saving. Let's say that in a movement where everyone is endorsed to use low energy efficient appliance, these people, egoistic value people, will show or will choose prefer to buy energy efficient appliance in order for them to while contributing to the eco-friendly while contributing to climate action, they are also contributing to their own personal interest, which is go above other. Another reason is because egoistic individual may value social status and reconnection a lot more than anybody else. In a society where environmental consciousness is celebrated, participating in climate action can enhance an individual reputation, leading them to adopt green practice for social validation. All right, that's all. I will
Right.
give back to the moderator.
Wow, now I see. Thank you, Mr. Ilham, for your clear explanation about the egoistic value of people. So, what I can say is that egoistic people will be more likely to adopt climate action that enhance their status or achievements. Oh, I think that's new knowledge for me. Thank you again, Mr. Ilham. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, just now we talked about egoistic people, but what about altruistic values of people? So I invite to all of you, our second panelist, YB Hakim, as the people representative in Setapa.
Assalamualaikum. Hello. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes,
So
YB.
first and foremost, thank you. So first and foremost, thanks for the introduction, moderator. I agree with Mr. Ilham on how people with egoistic values may influence the climate action movement. In my opinion, people with altruistic values also play an important role in enhancing the climate action movement. In accordance with Sustainable Development Goal 13, which is to limit and adapt to climate change, it is one of 17 Sustainable Development Goals established by the United Nations General Assembly in 2015. The official mission statement of this goal is to take urgent action to combat climate change and its impact. So, what are altruistic values? Bowman and Linda in the journal article published in 2022 provided that altruistic values refer to an individual's concern for the well-being of others and a desire for social equality and fairness. In the context of climate action, individuals who strongly endorse altruistic values are more likely to engage in pro-environmental behaviors because they recognize the benefits of such actions for society as a whole, including future generations. For instance, they may be more willing to support policies that promote renewable energy or reduce greenhouse gas emissions, even if it means sacrificing some personal benefits or conveniences. The significance of altruistic values in climate action lies in their potential to promote collective action and social change. When individuals prioritize the well-being of others and the environment over their own self-interest, they are more likely to engage in behaviors that benefit the greater good, such as reducing their carbon footprint or supporting policies that promote sustainability. This can lead to a ripple effect where others are inspired to take similar actions, creating a culture of sustainability and environmental friendly. However, it is important to note that altruistic values may also create barriers to climate action in certain situations. For instance, let's say if climate actions are perceived to have negative impacts on certain groups or individuals have to choose between investing in climate actions or supporting a social welfare program, people with strong altruistic values may engage more in climate action. Therefore, policymakers need to carefully consider the potential trade-off and ensure that climate action strategies are designed to promote social equity and fairness. Overall, the promotion of altruistic values can play an important role in fostering a more sustainable and equitable society. That's for me.
Um, may I interrupt, Mr. Fiki?
Oh yeah, sure.
Well, based on what you say earlier, in your opinion, what motivate individuals to embrace and Allah to
Oh,
ah what motivate
It's okay, Mr.
individuals
Ilham. Don't be too
ah
nervous.
what motivates individual to embrace and practice altruistic value? Sorry.
oh, okay. So, to answer your questions, we need to dive deeper about altruism, which is the selfless concern for the well-being of others. It is a deeply ingrained aspect of human behavior. The motivations that drive individuals to embrace and practice these altruistic values are complex. And one of the things that motivates individuals to embrace and practice altruistic value is, the first one is psychological factor. At the core of altruistic values lies psychological factors such as empathy and compassion. The ability to understand and share the feelings of others is a fundamental driver of altruistic actions. When individuals can connect with the emotions and needs of those around them, they are more likely to engage in acts of kindness and selflessness. The empathy altruism hypothesis, researched by Batson, reveals that when individuals genuinely feel empathy for someone in need, they are more likely to engage in altruistic acts. This finding shows the crucial roles of empathy in motivating selfless behavior. In addition, neuroscientific investigation, including studies employing functional magnetic resonance imaging (MRI), identify specific brain regions associated with empathic responses. DESTI points to the mirror neuron system and the prefrontal cortex as key contributors to the neurobiological processes underpinning empathy and consequently altruistic actions. In developmental psychology, the work of Eisenberg and Phipps in 1919 showcased the emergence of empathy social behavior in early childhood. Their research highlights that as children grow, their ability to empathize expands, forming a foundation of altruistic tendencies. This emphasizes the influence of early social experience particularly securing attachments to caregivers in shaping empathic response. I hope that answers. I hope that answer your question.
All right. Great explanation, Mr. Hakim. Thank you so much. So we can conclude that the driving force behind their actions is rooted in a deep sense of responsibility towards our future generations, right? That's a very good explanation, not gonna lie. All right, next, I would like to hear from our Professor Shahmi. For your information, Professor Shahmi is our third panelist, which is from, he is a senior lecturer in psychology school of Oxford University. Okay, Prof, as a senior lecturer, what is your opinion on hedonic values in this matter? And I mean, what is the significance of those particular values? Please, Prof.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Moderator, for the question and to the other panelists. Firstly, before I answer that question, I would love to give the definition of hedonic first. According to Merriam-Webster Dictionary, hedonics means relating to or characterized by pleasure, and hedonist defined as a person who tries to have as much as pleasure as possible, as they believe that the most important in life is to enjoy themselves. Next, you guys might be wondering what hedonist values the most. The hedonic values the most is balancing personal enjoyment with climate action the most. As according to Bowman, T and Linda Stack, in their article on Engaging City Residents in Climate Action 2020, stated that in order to encourage people to take action for the environment, we can use strategies like giving financial support for green technologies like solar panels to reduce individual costs. They also mentioned that we can also highlight the benefits such as saving money through energy efficiency or enjoying more comfort at home with better insulation. This approach will encourage hedonists to take climate action because hedonists will prioritize anything that maximize their happiness and minimize their sadness. And by applying this in real life, this approach can be executed by the government subsidizing or reducing tax for eco-friendly product. For example, various news like Bloomberg News in 2022 reported that the Norwegian government imposed 0% import taxes, 0% VAT, and no road tax on electric cars. Not only that, according to OECD organization, the Norwegian government also introduced 50% rules, which offer 50% discount for EV driver parking, road toll, and ferry charges. This has made the Norwegian chooses EV rather than fossil fuel car as it is more affordable. As a result, in 2022, Norway have the highest number of EV user per capita, which made up of 80% of vehicle sale in 2022, as according to the WRI organization. And additionally, according to OECD organization, no other country in the world has gone as far as Norway in the decarbonization of its transport sector to the extent of 2/3 of new passenger vehicles sold in 2021 were fully electric. Furthermore, and most importantly, the Climate Change Policy Index organization stated that Norway ranks in 12th in the Climate Change Policy Index by having low greenhouse gas emission, high usage of renewable energy, and good climate policy. This proves that the government is playing a crucial role in encouraging hedonists to take climate action, as hedonists will do anything that pleases them to the extent of taking climate action. As to the extent of taking climate action, as hedonists will do anything that pleases them if it pleases them by reducing their cost of living. Additionally, hedonic values will have a good impact in climate action by helping to reduce greenhouse gas emission and reduce wastage of non-renewable energy via the usage of EV, solar panel, and reusable product, as long as it benefit them and not selling them. And lastly, in conclusion, hedonic values are significant in preventing climate change, as hedonists are one of the biggest players in climate action. That's all for me. Thank you.
Mr. Shami, I am intrigued with your explanation about hedonic values. I have a question. How do hedonic values influence social interactions and relationships?
Hedonic values influence social interaction and relationship. Thank you for the question before that. Sorry. And hedonic values influence social interaction and relationship. Firstly, hedonic values are all about doing something that maximize their happiness and minimize their sadness, as I mentioned earlier. And it really shape how we connect with others. As according to Sarah P. 2016, in her article of hedonic adaptation in relationship and how it could play a role in infidelity, she stated that individuals guided by hedonic values tend to make social choice that bring them joy by actively seeking relationship and relationship that contribute positively to their overall well-being. For instance, hedonists are selective in choosing relationship that enhance their happiness because they will do their best to avoid relationship that may lead to discomfort or sadden them as they put their happiness over everything. Next, in social situation, people guided by hedonic values actively seek out enjoyable experience and works toward creating positive atmosphere, as according to Evelina 2020 in her article of The Influence of Utilitarian Value, hedonic value, and social value, and perceived risk on customer satisfaction. Which she mentioned that they often avoid conflict by preferring strategies that minimize negative interaction and potential emotional distress. Additionally, hedonists may prioritize instant gratification in their social interaction, leading to action that bring immediate pleasure. I hope that answer your question, Mr. YB Hakim.
Thank you, thank you.
I see. So, Prof, this says that helping people afford eco-friendly things like solar panels can make it easier for them to help the environment and also save money. Am I right?
Yes, you are right.
Wow, thank you, Prof, again for the great explanation. All right, ladies and gentlemen, last but not least, I want to ask our experienced ecologist from Tiga Tech Corporation, Mr. Rafa. So, Mr., I have two
Yes.
questions for you. Does biospheric value give the most benefits to climate action in the city? And if so, how do they react? Please, sir.
All right. Good morning, Mr. Moderator. First of all, I would like to give my full appreciation to the moderator for inviting me to this forum. It is such a pleasure to be invited to one of the most famous forum shows in our country, and it is such an honor to meet all the great panelists today. So today, I would like to talk about biosphere values among the citizens. To begin with, I will tell all of you what biosphere values are. What is biosphere? Well, according to Stern and Diaz, biosphere values can be defined as a value orientation in which people judge phenomena on the basis of cost or benefits to ecosystem or the biosphere. We can say that it's a value that judge any events based on how they harm or benefit our ecosystem. As such, the importance of biosphere values to environmentalism is easily understood. Biospheric values have a strong relationship with altruistic values, as have been explained by our second panelist, which is YB, means YB Fiqh Hakim. Why I say so? This is because altruistic values reflect a concern for the well-being of others and social justice, while biospheric values reflect a concern for the natural environment and the quality of nature, which could influence the residents to be more aware of climate action, which is our goal for our forum today. My main point for today is to talk about the education and awareness initiative that can be influenced by the biospheric values. As we know, every single work must start from the early stage, which is from the education. Every student in our country should at least know a little about what is a climate action. They should know about our environment nowadays. So in order to do that, they need to be implemented with biospheric values. For your information, those with biosphere values may engage in educational initiatives to raise awareness about environmental issues. Biospheric individuals are likely to engage in climate action that reflect their deep concern for the environment. They may adopt eco-friendly practice, reduce their ecological footprint, and make choices that can contribute to the preservation of nature. They may contribute to educating their communities about the importance of climate action and sustainable living. Besides that, biospheric individuals also are inclined to support and adopt sustainable technologies and practice. This may include using renewable energy sources, reducing waste, and making environmentally conscious choices in their daily activities to minimize their impact on the biosphere. For example, our government has introduced a solar PV project, also known as My Surya, to increase the income of the bottom 40% of household, which is also known as B40, which has been announced in the Malaysia Budget 2017 by our Prime Minister on that year. This initiative does not only increase the knowledge and awareness of solar energy, but it also could reduce the cost consumption rate and generate additional income for them, especially for the B40 communities. Well, this evidence have shown that the importance of education and awareness between the young generation in order to achieve sustainable development goals, which is the climate action. Biospheric values also could become a motivational source for the individual climate action, particularly to those who are lack a strong personal motivation to engage in climate action. I think that's all for my point. Any question?
Excuse me, Mr. Rafael, I would like to ask, can by increasing
Yes, go on.
environmental knowledge lead to a greater adoption of biospheric values?
First of all, thank you for the question, Mr. Shami. Professor Shami, I'm sorry. Well, by increasing the environmental knowledge will give more understanding on how the ecological system works. Environmental knowledge provide insight into the functioning of ecological system, emphasizing the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. This understanding encourage individual to adopt values that prioritize the health and sustainability of this system, aligning with biospheric values that I have been explained in our main point today. Besides that, education about nature would lead us to have more respect for nature. Education about natural world fosters an appreciation for its beauty, diversity, and intrinsic value. By increasing environmental knowledge, individuals are better equipped to appreciate, understand, and respond to these challenges facing the planet, and it also serves as the foundation for the adoption of biospheric values. I hope that answer your question.
Yes, that's absolutely answer my question. Thank you, Mr. Rafael.
So
All
therefore,
right,
that's all for me. Back to
all
you,
right.
Mr. Moderator.
Thank you, Prof. Shami, for the question. And thank you for our last panelist, Mr. Rafa. It's such an amazing explanation from you, Mr. Rafa. So with all that information, I can say that education initiative and awareness are two crucial components to be considered. Thanks again, Mr. Rafa, for your insightful opinion. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, with all responses from our panelists, our forum session has come to an end. Thank you everyone for your valuable contributions and engaging discussions during this forum session. Before I end this forum session, I would like to share a very powerful quote from Mahatma Gandhi, which is, Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man is great. That's all from me. Have a wonderful day, everyone. I'm Shafiq. Assalamualaikum and bye-bye.
Bye.
Wes, cut.